Are you starting to see a real benefit to the business in terms of what your business can scale to at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, there's a number of reasons it's important for the guys that are using the platform. That, that's actually kind of like the only tool they use to make their business run, and so they're in and out of it every day. So all the small quality of life changes to do with display, to do with travel times being shorter, I mean, that makes a massive impact for them. And then specifically to our business, happy franchises, it makes us, life easier for us. And in the efficiency as well, if we can fit one extra job in, or if we can sort of just like totally maximize time, if we can get the guys, recently they can now change their own working hours. And so you can imagine if you've got 55 people on the road, and every time one person wants to, go to the dentist or pick their kid up from nursery, they need to send in a request, and now they can just do it themselves. I mean, there's so many little things like that, and they all add up and make a massive difference.
Even today we have our kind of My Book Hub strategy session, and we've been getting really deep into what the dashboard's going to be like. So we see the dashboard being the first step, and My Book Hub being way more proactive. So we're looking at the data, looking for patterns, and we're going to have it where it gives you kind of recommendations. So it's going to have like a leaderboard, and here's all your resources. Here's the ones that are like super efficient and it's going really well for, and here's the ones that aren't, and we think we need to make these changes to it, sort of thing. So you should see a lot more in that kind of predictive area.
That's interesting. So almost like a league table, unofficial league table.
Yeah, well, official one. It's all the real data.
Official. Well, you probably, as in like you probably wouldn't show it to the resources.
Yeah.
Or maybe you would. Yeah. I think that's a good idea, because we do that anyway. Comparing our franchise owners to each other and letting them know this is what the average person's turnover looks like. I think there's a massive value add if you can look at average travel time, average idle time, average time at bookings, and just constantly work on that. Because over the course of a year, a couple of percent can be like £1,000 on someone's salary. Or I suppose if you're a business with employees, that's £1,000 to you.
Yeah, exactly that. So it does the kind of percentage of time at bookings, traveling and idle, and it'll do like a leaderboard and you'll be able to see what's going on. But even recommendations like, resource, Derek in this area has to actually change his working hours because he's counting himself out of all these afternoon appointments because he's having early finishes, that sort of thing. Yeah. That's only the start of it. We're going to basically hook in, the full on Azure AI into it and start looking for patterns in the data that aren't even things we want to, can think of asking right now.
The biggest benefit for the guys in the field is just that they're busier. For our customers, that process I talked about before, where they send an email and then they're busy, and then 2 days later they get back to it, but the slot's already taken, and then 2 days later, and the cycle often repeats quite a few times. And now they can just go on and they know what times are available and they can just book it. So that really the biggest benefit for our guys on the road is just that they're busier. And then I guess secondly, all the ways to manage their own schedule. We're selling franchises, and so it's important that the guys feel like they don't have to ask mum every time they want to take an afternoon off. And so for them to be able to completely manage their own schedules, it all starts to feel quite seamless, where they just say, I'm available from these hours, and then jobs just come in and all the notes are there, they can communicate with the customer, and so it's a massive benefit to them. So we started using My Booking Hub at the start of last year, so the end of 2020.
Yeah.
So 2021 is like 4 times more bookings. And that's not just because of My Booking Hub, although it's a big factor. I mean, we would have had to expand our customer service team so much without it, and that probably wouldn't have made sense financially, so it's been a big benefit.
I can't even imagine how big the admin team would be now without it.
It'd probably be 3 times bigger.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
And that's the problem, that it just holds your business back. So even you've got the cash to grow and you've got the vision to grow, but a lot of businesses won't escape that, that difficult. Your overheads increase, your profit increases just in line. So there's no point to scale really. So hopefully that this makes you break away from that. Really.
Yeah, it's kind of the best of both worlds, because of My Booking Hub, more customers book. And then for Fresh, it costs less per booking for us to facilitate. So it kind of gets both sides, which is important. Yeah, customers love the automated bookings. We've got lots of, even our sort of like older customers who you wouldn't think would adopt it as much, because it's so easy to use. They just press a few buttons and get booked back in. It's a massive benefit for customers. they book more often, and we get a lot of positive feedback for sure. I think for any business that's growing really quickly and has lots of people that are moving around the place, you're either going to have to build a massive team of people who are supposed to organise them, and I could imagine it would not be very economical quite quickly, or you can use one bit of software which will do it all for you. So I can imagine for lots of tradespeople, really any sort of travelling salespeople, travelling tradespeople who are doing services that are a fixed time, there's just no need to have big teams of people in the office coordinating them all. You can get all your people to be spending their time on better stuff that improves the business, not just sort of answering phone calls and emails.
Is that kind of manual tasks they're like that? I imagine that can suck the energy out of your team as well, where they could be on more valuable things.
Yeah, I know that our customer service team would find it really hard, because every summer we'd have so many more bookings, and they've just been non-stop taking requests, trying to book them in, and it was really your head would feel like it was on fire at the end of the day. And now we didn't need to get rid of any of our team. We've just got them doing different stuff, and they're definitely enjoying their jobs a lot more too.
Yeah, and even when it comes to competition, if you're able to scale like that without hiring more and more people, then it'll give you a much better chance than competition that might be still doing the manual way of.
Yeah, and like I said before, the big thing really is about customers. If you've got to pick between a company where you've got to phone up and book and they don't answer, and you leave a message and then they get back to you the next day, and then if you've got to kind of do that versus a company where you can just go online, book it in 60 seconds and then you're done, it's such a big benefit. It really sort of sets you apart from competition.